All right, everybody, this is Tim, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I have my man Andrew Wood on the line on Skype, and he's going to ask me some questions, and I have no idea what they are, so this is going to be a little interesting to see what my answers are. Andrew, you want to introduce yourself?
This is your man Andrew Wood, and today I'm going to be interviewing this piece of trash, Tim, on his channel. He's been coercing me into these actions, so now, Tim, you're going to pay the price and receive the consequences of the actions that you've brought upon yourself. Prepare to face the fire. All right, first of all, Tim, I'm going to ask you, what is your, what do you see yourself if you were a fantasy race of creature in any of the RPG systems? What would you be and why?
I would definitely be a dwarf. The whole idea with the beard and the drinking and sleeping with round women with beards, that's kind of hot. So yeah, I want to be a dwarf.
Very disturbing. Next, what is the largest number of PCs that you have killed in a single game, Tim? What is that number, and why did you do it?
I think the largest was TPK, and I think it was like 6 players. It was a starship battle in a Firefly and Serenity game, and they all died horrible deaths in flames.
There you go. Tim is admitted genocidist. We have this on the record. I'm not really sure how many more questions we need to proceed with here, but just for the sake of posterity, we're going to get some more into this depraved mind of this individual. Tim, what is your favorite weapon in any system?
My favorite weapon? Wow, that's an interesting question. Perhaps a Morning Star. I'm gonna go with Morning Star. That's a good choice.
Absolutely, and why not go with the weapon named for the devil himself? Good choice there. He likes the devil. He likes genociding. We are getting a good picture of who and what you are really about, Tim. This is why I'm here to probe you and explore deeper into this situation. Now, I'm sure I'm already going to know the nature of this. It's some foul diabolism, but what is your favorite spell, Tim, in any system? What is it?
Favorite spell? That's actually kind of tough. Jeez. Favorite spell. You might think, Fireball or Lightning Bolt or something like that, but no, that's probably the obvious choice. I think it's called Doom or Curse, where you basically make someone else suck. So I'm gonna go with that one. It's some spell on
so. Yeah. Rightfully so. They know what they've done. Tim, what is the biggest etiquette breach a player has ever committed around you or in a game that you're running? Explain.
Etiquette breach. I've had lots of those. I think I've suffered through more of these than your average GM. I think the worst, which sounds like it might not be that big of a deal, I had one player that loved to roll dice incessantly all the time. To the point that it literally drove me nuts. I think at one point I went over to him and I just dumped all the dice on the floor because that's what was going to happen anyway. Because
you dumped him on the floor following the dice.
Every 3 seconds, the dice would roll off the table and roll onto the floor. And hey, can you pick up my dice? It's like, well, they wouldn't fall on the floor if you didn't roll them incessantly all the time. And it's hard to keep my concentration when someone's clatter, 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 clatter. Oh, can you pick that up? Clatter, clatter, clatter. Oh, I dropped it under your chair. Can you get that? And I'm trying to explain something or describe something. And yeah, it sounds simple, but that guy drove me crazy. All right, Andrew, what's your next question?
Tim, what is the number one important quality you look for in a possible addition to a game that you're going to be running? In terms of acquiring a new player.
Probably the greatest strength of a new player, I think, would be attendance. I've had so many problems with players who can't come to the session more than once in a row. Whatever reasons they have. I really like players that show up. Now, it sounds like that's probably a very mundane thing to have, but there's been 3 times in my life where I've been no-called, no-showed by the entire group of players. Not just one, 5 or 6 people that didn't communicate with me, didn't tell me that they were not coming. This was way back in the day when I just tried to bring in my flaky friends, and just a lot of them, someone would sleep in, other ones would decide to go see a movie and not let me know, things like that. And I've tried to limit those people in my life. So yeah, attendance is key. Just show up. That's a good part. That's a good thing.
Excellent. They cannot make any contributions if they are not there.
This is true.
Certainly agreed to. Tim, which one game you've never played do you want to play the most?
One game that I've never played that I want to play the most. Oh, wow. You hit me with some good ones here.
That's what I'm here for, Tim. The tough questions, and you will answer them all.
I think the game that I would like to play most that is on my shelf that I'm kind of looking over there is King Arthur Pendragon. I think that with a sort of like generational idea for characters where you play a character, then you play his son like 20 years down the road. The whole Arthurian legend in there. That would be something that I think would be very interesting to try to play. And it's over on my shelf. It uses like the BRP kind of engine. I think it uses I think it's D20 roll under, but that would be something I think would be really cool.
What's the oddest gaming style you've played? And what I mean by that is something that's not tabletop, but attempting to emulate tabletop. If you follow what I'm asking here.
Oddest. Let's see here. I've played. Let me think here. I'm trying to find a good. I guess I've role played playing Magic the Gathering. In some ways, I had this one guy who really liked to get into the game and not necessarily just trash talking, because that can be a lot of fun too when you're trying to kill each other. But we would take turns role playing our characters, and if they died, I don't know. We only did it like once or twice. But that would probably be the oddest instance of role playing in a game that wasn't a role playing game.
Do you like playing or GMing better, and which do you feel you are better at? Explain.
I think this is something that's kind of changed for me. For the longest time, I was convinced that I was a better player, that I liked playing better, and I think I really had to just find my niche, find the games that I like to run, the kind of style that I like to be, the sort of genres or whatever. These days, I think I actually prefer being a GM to a player. Like, it's probably like 51% GM, 49% player. But I definitely seem to be going in that direction.
What single gaming experience in your entire list of experiences as a gamer, either running a game or playing in a game, what single experience made you the angriest? Explain.
Let's see here. All right, in my Star Wars D6 game that I'm currently playing in, my character is kind of a bizarre thing. It's a Gamorrean. Those are like the green space orcs with the axes that are hanging out in Jabba's palace. And my character idea was that he has some droid parts. His throat's been ripped out, so he has like a C-3PO voice box. And he's been like really messed with as a character. And a lot of the skills that I asked the GM about, it's like, hey, I was thinking about taking this heavy guns thing in case like there's ever a Star Wars scene where Han Solo and Luke are shooting at the TIE fighters outside the ship. He says, "Oh yeah, man, you'll have plenty of opportunities to do that." So I sunk a lot of skills in this skill. I was excited to use it. Even if I only used it once, I'd be excited to shoot some TIE fighters at the side of a ship or something. There were 3 instances where I was allowed to do that, where I was allowed to shoot something outside of this ship with this skill that I'd sunk a lot of skill points in. And every time he says, "Oh, no, well, you miss all your rolls, man." I'm like, "Well, I didn't even make the rolls yet. What do you mean? They're too fast for you." I'm like, "Well, are you not going to give me an opportunity to roll the dice here? I thought you said I'd be able to use this skill in the game, because I'm not really a big Star Wars guy. I thought you'd say this is okay." And every time I've used that skill, nothing has happened. I've not hit anything. Even rolling well, I got like a 46 or something one time. It's like, oh no, you still miss him, because his plot didn't want me to hit anything in those instances. So plot cracked me over the head and basically trumped my character idea into the ground. So I didn't much appreciate that.
Absolutely. Tim, what is your worst quality as a player or game master? And explain why you have these monkey-ass tactics.
I do have some monkey-ass tactics. This is true.
Indeed.
My worst qualities, I think I'm forgetful. That is probably my worst quality as a GM, where I will say something, and then 5 minutes I will contradict what I already said, and the players are like, "Wait a minute, you said 5 minutes ago that it was this way." oh yeah, and then I'll have to retcon it and fix it and kind of smooth the waters out a little bit. Or one session I'll be ad-libbing and I'm pretty good at that, but I'm not very good at taking notes about what actually happened. And then the next session I'll completely forget a major detail, and my players will have to point it out to me, like, yeah, you remember last time that happened? I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Okay, okay, this happens now, and I'll keep moving on and try to fix it. But I'm very forgetful. My worst quality as a player is that I tend to do things that are too chaotic, and I can be kind of detrimental to games at some point. Like I said, I'm trying to have sort of like a 12-step program and try to make sure that I'm not doing that too much these days, and I'll try to come up with character concepts that are more reserved, and I try to avoid that. So that's probably it.
Tim, I thank you for being open and honest and direct here on the hot seat with Underwood. Now, in closing, I have one more question for you. Now, without stopping and thinking about it, I want you to answer this one immediately and then elaborate on it. Whose channel in the RPG YouTube community is your favorite, and why?
Clack Click Bang, the gentleman gamer. If you're gonna make me pick a favorite,
I will.
I just like the gentleman gamer a lot. I think he's a smooth guy. He knows his games inside and out. He just has a cool vibe to him. He seems like a guy that'd be kind of fun to sit down and play with. He might not be as cool as his persona is online, but he definitely gives across that nice thing, that smooth English accent, and all the ladies go gaga for. So yeah, I guess that'll be my answer.
Clack Click Bang, an excellent choice, the Earl of RPGs, and we thank you, Tim, for your open candor and honesty in this interview.
You're welcome, Mr. Ander, and I'll talk to you later.
That's Underwood signing off.